Hello and welcome to the other 14, well, I guess other 14 and West Ham podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan,
I'm Tom, relegated West Ham fan.
and this is your podcast for everything not top six. Tired team being last in match of the day, not getting the flowers they deserve. That's about to change. What do we have this week? Well, everyone knows what we have this week, but go on then, Tom.
Villa are Europa League champions and celebrated at City. Bournemouth and Sunderland clinch Europa League qualification. Brighton drop into the Conference League position, and West Ham's result wasn't enough to survive the drop.
Yeah, it weren't, unfortunately. Even I was feeling for you there, mate. But yeah, do you want to introduce our new segment that we have this week?
Yeah, so to mix it up, rather than asking each other what we've been up to, and both of us absolutely forgetting and chatting bullshit, we are introducing a new segment that is very fitting for us both, called Old Men Yell at Clouds, where we just bring one thing that we have to gripe about over the past week. So, what you got? What you got? What are you bringing to the table?
Arsenal fans, especially,
Just full stop.
yeah, maybe, no. Arsenal fans in South London, maybe, that's a better way to put it. I've decided that I'm going to buy a lighter and some fluid, and everyone I see bopping about Balham or anywhere in South, well, I mean, especially Croydon, I'm just going to set their shirts alight this summer. And if that's a hate crime, I guess it's a hate crime. But hey ho, what
I
about you?
I had a couple, and one was related to Arsenal fans, and it was just Arsenal fans wearing Arsenal shirts at festivals. Like, it's boring now. Like, maybe a few years ago it was interesting, but it's so boring now. If you're not going to go retro with it, then don't do it. Like, don't
No,
wear this season's Arsenal top. That's so boring. It's so
no,
done.
no, I think the
That
thing that
isn't
annoys
what I was
me
going to bring.
The thing that annoys me more on top of it all is like people that you can tell have just been on Vinted and bought a like Arsenal shirt and they're wearing it and it's just they're like, I know you just got that off Vinted and you think you're so cool and you probably paid 100 quid for a t-shirt you get off eBay for like 5 quid. Yeah, I guess let's
Anyway,
just
that wasn't actually what I was going to bring to the table. The one that I was going to bring to the table is something that I've had a gripe with for years about is fashion fake football shirts. Your Guinness shirt, your the
yeah.
music festival that do like, because I was at Slam Dunk on the weekend, and to be fair, their one was actually not that bad, and I don't think they're all like, they're not ugly. I just, yeah, it just, as a person who wears football shirts, it pisses me off that they're not real football shirts. And
No,
like,
I
as a
know.
lover of like proper good football shirts, it's like I look at it and I go, oh, that person's wearing a football shirt, and then I see the Guinness logo as the badge, and I go, well, it's rubbish.
Mate, that's exact. Yeah, it's sad how similar we are at times. Like we've literally just posted a picture about us taking the same picture at the Berlin Wall together. But no, I'm the same. Like, because I mean, I'm half Irish. I love Guinness stuff beyond belief, and it is all art of football. Like those Guinness shirts, and I look at them like, oh, could I go on board with them? But yeah, it's one of those things where I hate it. Even like Palace do retro shirts, and they're not actually like
Yeah, you
sponsored
can't do
by
the
the
replica.
old clubs. Do you know what I mean? And the replicas, and they're disgusting. Like I remember they brought out. We had the TDK Adidas one, which is like known for Lombardo. It's like
Mm.
one of our most famous ones. I'll be wearing my actual one from to the final on Wednesday. But Palace brought out like a replica version of it without the Adidas stripes on the side or the Adidas sponsor, and you look at it, it's
Yeah,
like that's disgusting. It's like all the
we've
score.
we've had the same with the Doc Martens one that
Yeah.
doesn't have like pony on it. It's just like, come on, man. Like,
Mate,
but
it's all
yeah,
the score draw shirts, isn't it? I've got nothing against them because, like, I mean, they do ones that don't have the sponsors and they're great and it makes it cheaper, but it's just not the same. I don't. It's just we're sad bastards, isn't it? That's the only
it
way to
is.
put it.
It is. Yeah,
Like,
that's my
no,
grump.
no, no one else is like that pathetic and that shallow.
No, no, it doesn't upset anyone else like it
No,
upsets us.
just us. But no, I can get on board with that Guinness one. Cool. Okay, let's take a break and then we'll get into your hour-long moan. How about it? Oh, your hour-long therapy, shall I say? Okay, and we're back. So yeah, I guess I'll be honest with everyone here. I've watched highlights of the two games that mattered, and I went to the Palace Arsenal game. I am just bringing vibes to the rest of this. I've skimmed
Yeah,
through
yeah,
match of the day quickly, but yeah, I'll be completely honest. But let's start with the relegation stuff. I'll put my 2 cents in, and I'll let you take over.
sure.
Um, I said last week I did think you would do your business, which you did. and then I thought Spurs wouldn't be able to do the business. But I guess you proved everyone right. It was a free falling Everton, I think. At the end of the day, they just couldn't do enough to do anything. And once that first goal, well, once the goal went in from Paulinho, I stood there at Sellers. I was like, that's it, isn't it? Everton aren't going to come back from 1-0 down on the last day of the season when they're on the beach. And yeah, I just a little bit too little, too late, I guess. Would you agree with that? Like all the
Yeah,
things at the beginning of the season, it was
exactly. I think
yeah,
I've said it multiple times that West Ham got relegated this season from August to January. Like like winning 3 games in 21 in your first your opening 21 games. Like that spell at Christmas, my mind just goes back to where I was banging on about we played Forest, Wolves, Brighton, and I think Leeds in there as well, and we got 1 point out of those 4 games, and
yeah.
it
I
was
remember
just
you
like,
saying, didn't you? You were like, with there's 10, what it was like 12 points to get, and we need at
yeah,
least six out of them, and you got one, and it's
we
like,
got one,
what could,
and
yeah,
then the charge came literally after that. Like the very next game was like the QPR game, and that turned it around. But you're just giving yourself a massive, massive job to do, and it seems like Nuno is out the door. Like he's having crunch talks with the owner and the board today, but it sounds like they're like everyone wants out really. Like there's been some pretty sort of harsh reporting on Nuno's time and how he behaved with the players and the coaching staff, and he wasn't able to bring his coaching staff from Forest because there was like he was suing Forest or Forest was suing, like something going on, legal battle. So there's a lot of that. I think a parting of ways is just going to come. It might already have come by tomorrow. And yeah, as I say, West Ham got relegated from August to January. Like, just did not pick up any point, like anywhere, didn't get started anywhere near early enough to make it. Like, we made it interesting. Apart from that spell at Christmas, I suppose you look at the last few games and going away to Brentford and Newcastle and just get like that Newcastle game, just making weird decisions before a ball had even been kicked, and it's just like,
that's
yeah,
got to be
you
the
just gave yourself
frustrating
way too
thing.
much to do.
That's got to be the most frustrating bit because even I look at it now. You said that, and you look at the game you played against Leeds, and I mean maybe Leeds were on the beach, but Newcastle would have been on the beach then as well, and you kind of decimated them in the second half. First half they had lots of chances, yes, but you decimate them second half. You think if you'd done that against Newcastle to get a point or even anything just to like boost a bit more of morale or anything out of that game or to put a bit more into Tottenham would have been huge. It's just a
That's the
bit like
thing. Tottenham knew all they had to do was get a point, and so as soon as they got one, it just never really felt like Everton were going to come back into it. Like they had a late chance that Kinski made a really good save from Tyreek George, but it was like 92nd minute by that point, and they hadn't really shown too much else of being able to sort of do us any favors. And I, I said it before. I wasn't really expecting them to do any favors, and we shouldn't have been in that position where we were relying on a team in the last day of the season. Like we had chances over the last few weeks to take this into our own hands, and we didn't. So, the, I mean, I think I've said it before as well. Like, I was surprised yesterday at how I didn't feel as disheartened. Like when we got relegated 15 years ago, it was like it really took me. I was obviously younger, more emotional than that at that point. Whereas like yesterday, I've said it. I've made my peace with the championship. Like I'd prepared myself for this back in January. Like we made a fist of staying up. The only worrying thing is that obviously we're going to have massive player sales. I pray Jared Bowen stays. That Jared Bowen and Thomas Suchek, that might just like, if you build around them, be enough to get you back up at the first time of asking. It could go either way. The championship is a really, really tough division, especially looking at it next season. Like I sent you the screenshot of the like who's in the championship next year, and it's like a proper football division. Like it's got like we're gonna have the Dockers derby back with Millwall. Southampton are gonna like look to build on, like Middlesbrough are gonna look to build. Burnley Wolves are going to try and bounce straight back up. Like you got Birmingham, you got Wrexham doing their thing. Like the Swansea, Cardiff. Like there's so many quality teams in the Championship now that it's going to be a tough one to get out of. And it was when we were last down there. Like we ended up coming up via the playoffs, which was nerve wracking. But it's going to be a long slog, and just curious at this point now. I'm just really sort of like curious to see what happens. One, I hope David Sullivan puts the club up for sale. He has no affinity to this club. He runs it like it's just his little play thing. Just makes absolutely just like the amount we've spent on player like purchases in recent years with no like real guiding like light, no real sort of idea of no plan of action. It's just been throwing around money, and it's just like I just he his business partner David Gold was the one who had the affinity with West Ham. He was new and born, like raised on Upton Park. David Sullivan has no real affinity with West Ham, so and he's lost Karen Brady. I hope he decides to sell and get out. But yeah, we're gonna see how like it's gonna be a tumultuous few months at West Ham, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's loads of negatives we can look on, and I will get onto those in a bit. But do you not think it's Maisie? There's positive to look at that. There probably will be mass player sales. If you hold on to Bowen, I think it'll be a goddamn miracle because I think I would snap your hand off to have him, let alone any top six club. But even with that, do you not think it's opportunity for the kids, the academy to be played for? Like, don't West Ham look at themselves as a club that's built with the academy being such a massive part of it? But I can't remember last time. Is Declan
Well,
Rice the last player you had come
yeah,
through as academy player?
Declan's the last player who's come up and like really made a massive impact. Ollie Scholes, Freddie Potts were in the team this season, but more sort of substitute bench players. Like those two, I would be looking at going into the Championship because Diouf will go off. Fernandez will go to a Champions League level team. There'll be space in that in midfield and at left back for those two to take on, and then any other young players coming through, we're going to see like I imagine Somerville goes off. I don't, the thing about Bowen is he's 29, he's got 4 years left on his contract, and he's the club captain. I just don't see him going to a outside of the top like a non-European team next season. I just don't understand what like for like if he stays for one more season and like got us back up, he'd be in the same position as he would going to Palace or somewhere like Everton
No,
or that
I
way.
no 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 I know that I don't think he will come to anywhere close to us. But the only thing that because I was talking about this at Palace with one of my mates, and it's like, where does he go though? Because I reckon he stays in London because well, his whole family must be in London. Like obviously you got the Dying Dye connection. That's obviously big, publicised everywhere. But what London club could he go to, and it not be a complete like fucking disgrace for West Ham fans? Do
But
you know
that's
what
the
I
thing,
mean?
like, and you can quickly, like, and I have done made excuses for any club that he's not going to go to, like, and as I say, he's 29 with 4 years left on his contract. Like, it's
Do
going
you,
to take, like, and he's priceless to us in this situation. Like, I think everyone else is essentially up for sale, but the club will desperately try and keep hold of Bowen.
think a loan? I was saying maybe a loan to Hull, so he goes back there. I mean, that'd be a mad one, wouldn't it? But I
I mean,
just,
that would be pretty crazy, but like, I think if he's going to do that, like, you may as well buy him, sort of thing. Like, I don't really think I don't. They're very rare those situations where a sort of 29-year-old goes on loan somewhere and then comes back to the club and like
yeah,
continues to play for them.
29, isn't it? Like you're saying, is it go replace Salah or someone at Liverpool? I just can't see him leaving London. That's the thing for me. I don't know why I've got that stuck in my head, but it just feels like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean we'll see. With regards to this game in particular, it was like, yeah, you're right. Leeds were absolutely the better team in the first half. Definitely should have had one, if not two. Calvert-Lewin had a couple of really good chances, and then yeah, after the first goal went in, they looked like a team on the beach. It just was like, right, this clearly doesn't mean much to Leeds at this point. I mean, they've ended the season really well. This game aside, they're like unbeaten in the eight previous. So like from their point of view, I think I wouldn't really. This was kind of just a nothing burger for them. Like just they can just forget about this game and take what was still positive vibes into the off season.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they did much better than we thought they'd do around Christmas time. They absolutely smashed through it all. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to be on a beach for any game, I guess it's that game. And maybe they were trying to help you guys out and put Spurs down because of what Spurs did to them before. But in the other game, you look at it, not much really happened in that game, it seems at all. But Spurs got the goal to get them over the line in the end through Paulinho, who I guess is probably their best standout best player of the whole season, a player that probably shouldn't be in a relegation battle team either. So yeah,
No, he's
Moyes
had a
just
very, very strange career, has João
yeah,
Paulinho.
really strange. Like
Was
how
excellent for Sporting, and then somehow ended up at Fulham. Was excellent for Fulham, and then somehow ended up at Bayern Munich, where he just didn't fit at all, and then has ended up at Spurs and been in and out of the team all season, but then has come up massively clutch in a way that he has never really done anywhere in his career. Like getting two massive goals. What did he get? The one against Wolves as well.
yeah, the
Like
one that Wolves one is a pretty similar goal, like from a corner,
scrappy. Like
ricochet, scrappy, like tap it in, hit back in. Yeah, it's annoying that he's been the one that saves him like that, but
yeah. I
it's
mean, from a
annoying.
West Ham point of view, the players I would want to try and keep are Souček, Bowen, and Mavropanos. Like, if we
Big
could keep
Nav.
those
Who would have
three,
thought you'd be saying that?
mate, hammer of the year. Like, he's absolutely turned it around, and he's probably a sellable asset at this point. Whereas last year, it would have been one of a number of players that West Ham made a loss on over even though we only bought him for I think 20 mil from Stuttgart a few years ago. But if we could keep like those three and maybe like Tati,
Wait,
but
so you're saying
I think
you're
someone will
saying
be sniffing for Tati.
you're saying you don't want to keep Max Coleman?
I definitely don't want to keep Max Kilman, but to be honest, who's going to buy him? Like at this point, this is the problem with West Ham is so many of those like big money purchases just haven't worked out. Like Nicholas Füllkrug is supposed to come back in the summer. He's been on loan at AC Milan and done terrible. Like it's just all of these like a lot of these purchases that were for this manager or that manager or this director of football that's then gone, and it's just like there's not been a clear plan. And then you look at the league and you look at football now, and the way everything is so hyper scrutinized, data is everywhere, it's very, very readily available. The smartest teams out there on the tightest budget, so your Bournemouths, your Brightons, your Brentfords, like uh, and then you have West Ham who are stuck in the like 90s, early noughties way of thinking of having the owner make purchases based on agents and that and then you have the albatross that is the stadium, like like that we've been singing it back after years of fans, away fans singing at us like they sold our soul for this shithole. Like it, like what should be an incredible stadium on paper just isn't, and at times it has been great, like the Europa League nights under the lights there, the atmosphere was sensational, but it's just not a football stadium, and now we don't have a home and are potentially going into the championship with all of this chaos and uncertainty around us. As I say, for me, it's like a flip of the coin. Either we could come straight back up with some smart with like some academy players coming through, some of the big name like that players that I mentioned sticking around for 1 year to try and give it a fist of state of coming straight back up, or we could end up like some of the fallen giants, like where Birmingham found themselves, like many a team have found themselves over recent years, like Leicester. Look at them, like I could easily like they're in a similar situation with like bad ownership and poor planning, and then like double relegation. At this point, obviously we're too close to it, and we don't know what the summer is going to entail. But it feels like a like toss of a coin to see sort of which of those outcomes happens.
It is, yeah. It's terrifying. It's exactly how I'd feel if Palace went down, because it's that you don't know what happens if you don't come up first time. Then you feel like you could be in that doldrum for a long old time. I mean, when we went down 0-4-5, we were down there for, what was it, basically 10, 12 years. And it's just there, like, you don't you don't know. It's a crazy, crazy league. But, I mean, you at the end of the day, West Ham, you'll attract some good players in the Championship. You get like an Adam Armstrong or something like that.
Great. To be honest, no, because they'd come to us and then not score because the West Ham striker curse would get him even in the Championship.
Wait, so he's been getting that curse at other clubs? Is that what you said? No, he's done a good job in the Championship each
In the
year, hasn't he?
Championship, he's been good, but
Yeah.
he's just like Ollie McBurney, like too good for the Championship, but not good enough for the Premier League.
Fade. Oh God, that was so many players that came to Palace. But yeah, what was the atmosphere like in the stadium? Was it all like kind of everyone had accepted it before kickoff, or was it down or
Well, unfortunately, I had a nightmare day yesterday and I couldn't get there. I was TF in our opening segment. I was going to hound out TFL because I was I got stuck at Highbury and Islington. There were nothing going east. They were just slowly cancelling one by one. So I was there for 25, 30 minutes. I was like, right, let me get Central Line, and then I was stuck on that for 45 minutes, and it was like quarter to four at this point, and I was like, right, either I keep trying to get east and miss an hour, maybe 75 minutes of the game, or I turn back home and miss like the first 25, 30 minutes. So I was like, I need to see this match in some way. Like, if I can't get there in person, then so I went home and watched it. So
oh fuck, I
I
didn't realise you
can,
weren't there. I remember you messaged
yeah,
me, but I
yeah,
didn't realise you didn't
yeah.
even
No, I
go.
couldn't make it. I was fuming, and
Jesus.
then I was stuck on a Central Line train, sweating out the back of my knees, like it was just dripping. And then a horde of Czech school children bombarded, like on a school trip, bombarded the carriage that I was on. And after 40 minutes, I was like, nah, I'm getting out of this situation. Like, they
Yeah,
just
you're
kept
not.
saying, we don't know any updates yet. Like, we're waiting to hear. And then I was like, they said this like five times. I was like, nah, they're not. Nothing's. They're gonna cancel this train.
To be fair, you're breaking your court order by being that close to them anyway, so no wonder you needed to get home.
Anyway, but I mean, from the atmosphere, from what I've read, it was slow to start with because of the heat and the first half performance, and then the second half was mostly just anger directed at the owner and like derision, like diatribes just aimed towards the ownership. Even when we started scoring, it was because Tottenham had already scored by that point. They scored just
Yeah.
before half time. It was like yay, but really we know that until Everton got a goal, if Everton had got a goal back, it didn't really matter. It was well done. You did the bare minimum of the day. You had to win the game, but unfortunately, you needed a slice of luck elsewhere that didn't come.
Yeah, so doesn't it? I'm sure we'll go into it more at our season review and everything, but yeah, it's a bit of
Yeah,
a shit.
that's all. I think that's everything off my chest to say for now.
Does it feel like therapeutic at all, or do you want to go shout
No,
at
I
your
honestly
screen
feel
pillow for a bit?
worse. I feel worse sitting in it and getting it. I mean, I have got it all off my chest, but yeah, now I just like now there's just all these thoughts going around in my mind, whereas I just spent the past 4 hours painting, so I had sort of like I've got the therapeutic part in there, and now I've just dug up fresh wounds.
Painting and crying, that's what you've been doing. Painting and crying. Oh, but no, fuck it. Okay, we'll move on to the Palace game, I guess, because that's the only other one I've seen properly. And I
Why
say I've seen
they're
properly.
the last on my list? Why would we?
Well,
Why would we talk about the
there
Palace
ain't a
game?
list because I can tick it off quick. I'll do that for
Okay,
you.
we can take it off then because
I've,
I literally don't have notes.
yeah,
I watched it and I was like, I have two notes. Do you want to know what my two notes are before you
well,
jump into it?
go on.
One, how was the trophy lift? And two, how was Leipzig?
Weren't there for the trophy lift. Missed both Arsenal's goals because I sat on a bank in the homestay having beers. Saw Mateta's goal, so all that matters was for me, it was 1-0. The
Oh, so you
weirdest
won
game
one
of
nil.
Yeah, the weirdest game I've ever been to. Did not give a shit about any of it. Like,
Hmm.
honestly, it sounds really like even everyone seems to get a go, have a good laugh, but that one, I don't know what it was. It was just there, like, I don't want to really be here. I don't want to be doing this. Like, there's more important things. But yeah,
I could feel that from like the highlights. Like it honestly, it felt like it was the only time I've seen 80% of Selhurst Park sit down for
yeah,
like a match. Like
it was that. Like, though I don't know. There's a tweet that went up. Basically, most Palace fans had put their tickets on sale, obviously because of half term as well. But they put all their tickets on resale because like we're not bothered about this game. We've got our actual game coming up this Wednesday. So yeah,
yeah,
and that's probably enough to talk about that game. Should we move on to
yes,
something else?
yeah. Well, I'll steer. I went I was gonna put West Ham at the bottom because I was gonna go from like top to bottom because at this point we're really talking about storylines than we are talking about the actual match
Games,
players.
yeah,
But so I knew you weren't going to let me get away with that, so I put West Ham at the top and the relegation
yeah.
at the top, and then I've gone from essentially the table. So
Okay.
Aston Villa 2-1 against Man City, Ollie Watkins double after with fresh hangover, like
Hey,
they just
that's mad, isn't it? Did you see the tweets going out there like, we're not
yeah
giving a shit about sports science ever again? Like, how has that happened?
they're
Absolutely
all just
rubbing
like
salt in the
pissing
wounds.
themselves, like just absolutely like how the hell have we done that?
And that,
And like the first goal the one they conceded from Semenyo was sloppy defending. It looked like a team who had been celebrating for 3 days, and then two mistakes from England's starting centre back John Stones, who's not played a game of 90 all season. But he's at fault for both Watkins' goals, in my opinion.
let's just leave the England selection stuff for now. Let's just put that into a box and we'll move on. How about that? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
mad.
mate.
It is mad, a mad way for Pep's era to end and all that. But I mean, Villa just know how to win games, it seems. Like
Oh yeah,
we
they
they did
ended the season in good form.
they did. They had the little blip in the middle that nearly cost them Champions League and everything,
Mm.
but how they how they how they managed to turn it around again is unbelievable, and I'll give them massive props for that because I didn't see that coming. I thought they'll drop off and they'll probably drop out of everything rather than being able to win the Europa League, secure Champions League like in two different ways. And
Mm.
yeah, what did you make of the two Guard of Honors during the game?
Oh, can we not?
Sure, you're
Can
not
we
literally.
absolutely not? Like I already ranted about this last week with Kieran Trippier getting a sideline interview at 85 minutes when my team are fighting for their lives. I get in this game it's less important because Villa would like joined in, but like can we just absolutely not do this during a match? Like you have like you're even at home, so like do it after the match, do it before the match. Like you've got all
Do it
this extra
before,
time.
do it when they're coming on to the match, turn them on. Like I
Yeah,
mean, I'm probably the last person said when we had the double Guard of Honor with Palace and Liverpool, which I fucking love that to be fair, but that was before the game. I mean,
yeah.
there's
And
kind of a
during the game, this
little
one
bit of a
happened on like
reason for
60
that.
minutes as well, like the Bernardo Silva one, and it's just like, can we not do 10-minute Guard of Honor, like, or even the standing? I don't even like the standing ovation, like part of like
Were they
even
losing at that point
even
as
if you
well?
just took the Guard of Honor away from it, the 10 minutes of them going around saying like thank you to all the like. You're going to talk to them in 10 minutes, like you're going to do this all over again when you do your lap of honor. Like it was just, yeah, old men yell at clouds situation. But like, can we not do that in football, please? Can we have a rule next season that's like, if you take 5 minutes to make a sub, like you concede a goal or something?
No, well, the rules next season would be that the camera. I think the cameraman was in the Guard of Honor. To be fair,
I'm surprised Bernardo Silva didn't hug him. But
oh,
anyway, how there's another. We'll come on to it again later. How's that curse looking? They
yeah,
Aston Villa absolutely blew Freiburg away as I expected in the Europa League final. A couple of really wonderful goals and first trophy since 95-96 League Cup for Villa. Like that, we
yeah.
all kind of expected them to win it, but they actually had to go and do it, and still a great night for Villa fans.
Yeah, I guess that curse didn't really existed by the end of it all. Especially because you
No,
got Tammy Abraham, what, getting it? He's completed European football now, I think they said. Because he's got,
he has.
what,
He's the second player to do so. Do you know who the first is? I'll
no.
give you a hint. He played for West Ham.
He played for West Ham.
Yeah. Oh,
No.
Alex's brain is I can feel the cogs turning.
Mate, after the amount of Steins I've had, you're lucky I'm even here, let alone get my brain to work.
Uh, it's Emerson Palmieri, the left back.
Never would have got that in a million
No,
years.
I
What, did he
didn't
win
think so.
the Super Cup as well?
Yeah, well, he played for Chelsea for 4 or 5 years, didn't he?
Fucking hell. I didn't see that, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, fair
Anyway,
enough.
yeah, that congrats to Villa, like completed like Europa League final, completed it, mate. Champions League next season. They're in a great position. I still think
All
they've got
I,
a few things to do with their squad, like bringing Leon Bailey back didn't really like, and you're right, Tammy Abraham has had next to no impact. Like, so there's some stuff that they'll need to do, but Villa fans enjoy it.
I wouldn't want to be a Blues fan, let's be honest, right now. I did mess with my Blues fan, and he had a similar saying when I said about going and getting lighter fluid and burning stuff down. He had a very similar feeling about going around Bromley.
I can imagine. I would have felt the same if Millwall had come up and we had gone down.
I would have been with you on that, to be fair, if Mill had gone up. Where do you
And
want to go
then
next then?
yeah, so we go to the two Europa League qualified teams and start with the more stunning of the two, the surprising one, Sunderland beating. Well, I don't think that the result isn't surprising, but Sunderland like managing to reach over a couple of teams and get it and qualify for the Europa League. Sunderland 2, Chelsea 1. First European football at the Stadium of Light since 1973.
Mental, isn't it? Like you say, reached over as a bit of a posterized there for a basketball term. Like they kind of snuck in there out of nowhere.
Well,
I've like
well, I said, was it last week when I said like they've replaced Everton as the
you
team
did,
with an
yeah, you did.
outside chance? Like it was like they were like ninth or something. It was like, yeah, if results fell their way, I thought maybe a Conference League position to get Europa League. Like the chips fell in the best way for Sunderland possible, and like fair play to them. Like I know you were maybe a bit critical a month ago or so about Sunderland possibly petering out the season. Like the results.
I was very critical about it because I thought once they lost that home record that they'd like crumble at home and the away form would kind of stay the same. And
Yeah,
yeah, they proved
and
me.
it did for a time.
I mean, a lot of the season just proves how little we actually know about football. Apart from me knowing West Ham would go down at the beginning of the season. Apart from that,
Okay, okay,
like,
Oracle.
apart from that, yeah, it really shows like because everything I thought, all football cliches just did not really come towards the end of the season, did they? And
No,
especially with the Sunderland one, yeah, like you said, I really thought that peter out. It'd just be a championship club like doing that first run, and then it all kind of going to not going to shit, but like petering out, like you say,
I
to a
mean it
mid-table
felt like
finish.
it. Like they
Yeah.
they they, they felt like they got to 40 points and then breathed a sigh of relief and like took their foot off the gas kind of thing, and then they managed to change it in the last couple of weeks. They managed to turn it back around, and this one they dominated Chelsea, which isn't too much of a surprise given how Chelsea have been in the last 3 months, really.
I mean, Chelsea have just hit the self-implode button, it seems, this last
Yeah,
period. Like, it's unbelievable. I mean, I didn't see the game, but I mean, Sunderland seemed to be quite comfortable, and then there was the
yeah,
Wesley
yeah.
Fofana red card, and it was just like, wow,
I
this
mean, they were
is
they were 2-0 up, I think, before the red card
red card,
happened,
yeah.
and both were nice goals. Like Trey Hume with the first one was like a really nice stabbed kind of finish. It was route one, but it opened Chelsea up, and then Robbie had a good chance that he like did all of like the build up to, but then couldn't finish it, and then he gets a second chance that he does. Well, he doesn't score from it, but the second goal comes from it. It's like a sliced wide shot, and then Gusto puts it into the back of his own net. And then yeah, Palmer gets one back that I think Ruth should do better with, and then yeah, Fofana gets sent off for two yellow cards that I didn't have a complaint with either of them, like fair decisions, and yeah, Sunderland qualify for Europe, and like it's just crazy, like
It's,
just
it's
props.
meant. it is mental. Like looking at it when it came through and I saw it on Instagram, I was like, that is actually quite outrageous stuff right there. But I mean, we'll probably talk to it more about in like the build up to the season. I think they're a club that is big enough to be able to like get well, if they're clever, get the squad sorted in time to be able to give it all a go. Because there's that why like too much too soon with it, which
I mean, we looked at it last year and thought the same thing. Like they had so
yeah,
much to do. That squad that won the playoff final had so that they had to turn around a lot of that squad. And to be fair, three of the team who started that playoff final started this game against Chelsea, but they still had so many other players to bring in, and obviously Granit Xhaka has been the linchpin in the midfield, and
really
like
has
the
been.
players,
Who saw that coming? Like who saw that coming? I mean, I
definitely not.
guess you watch a lot more German football than well, I mean, I watch barely any German football, but still, like, did you see him coming in from it was Leverkusen,
I mean,
wasn't it? And being
he had been quality for Leverkusen, but it did still just feel like one of those. I don't know.
Hail Mary signings, wasn't it? Like, oh yeah, he'll come in and hopefully do something, but ends up
Yeah,
sitting on the bench and does nothing. A bit like when we got Adebayor, and it's like, yeah, that could work, and if it doesn't, who gives a shit? Like, and it was the
but then
worst
it's like
fucking
you
signing
bring
ever.
someone in on high wages and stuff, and it's like, but actually, like in hindsight, and having heard some interviews and stuff with like the people who made those decisions, they and like looking back at it, really, every other piece that they brought in was like young, sellable, like had potential sort of thing, and they needed a leader, someone who had done this at the top level, won like the German division, like won FA Cups at Arsenal and stuff. Like they needed someone that could come in and like lead that team, and he absolutely has done, and they have to be praised for that, and that's why I say we sat here last year and they had a lot to do to get up, like after getting up from the championship. They have a lot to do to prepare that squad for the like Europe, like to handle European competition as well as Premier League. But having seen that transition last year, I have much more faith in like the people who are making those decisions at Sunderland than I probably would another team who might have sort of managed to luck their way into that situation. But Sunderland seem to have they seem to be similar to the other teams who have qualified for Europe, like Brighton, like Bournemouth. They seem to have got smart people in smart places.
I won't accept that about Brighton, but yeah, I will about Sunderland. I think they've got a healthy chance to go have a big old go at it, and I'm hoping for them. And we managed not to talk about that documentary throughout most of this season. I think it might be a good time to maybe bring up, be it like that documentary can go fuck itself now, can't it, for all Sunderland fans, and they can
Is the
sit there and
documentary
be
still
happy.
going on, or I
I,
thought I
no,
haven't seen
I've
it in a while. I think
no,
they stopped doing it, right?
so what was it? They did the 2 seasons where it was like dreadful and it was like comical how bad it was, and
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
the
like
final
The
one was when
Office.
they got the final one was when they got promoted via the playoffs, and it was all good. And I think all Sunderland fans just living the best life right now. That's all you could ask for. But yeah, Bournemouth. Do we need to say any more about Bournemouth than we've already have this season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about Bournemouth. It was a decent enough game though. Forest won, Bournemouth won. Uh, Drawmouth,
Bournemouth.
my moniker for them hits again. 18 draws in the league this season,
But I mean, it's gone Europa League, and what
and
they
it,
unbeaten now in eight.
they only needed a point to secure sixth as well. So a draw was really to be expected.
Well, they now unbeaten in 18 as well, was it?
Yeah,
The most.
18 unbeaten to end the season is crazy.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Viola leaving as well. It just none of it makes sense to me with that. But we've sucked Bournemouth stick enough this season, haven't we? Surely. Do we need to say
Yeah, I
anything
mean, I
more?
would say there's one player that we probably haven't talked about a lot. Adrian Truffert, the left back who came in to replace
Prefers.
Milos Kerkez.
We should have been saying a lot more about him because he's been good
He's
this
come
whole season.
in, settled pretty quickly, like got better as the season's gone on, and looks all the player that Kerkez was for Bournemouth. Like the way he gets, like he's got energy for days, getting up and down the left. He sets up really, really good work to keep the ball in play and to keep like the attack alive in this one, and then lays it off to Tavernier, who strong side foot finish goes past Sells. And yeah, it was like just yeah, lots of props to Bournemouth, lots of props to Adrian Treffer. Yeah, we've talked about them a lot. From a Forest side of things, Morgan Gibbs White, how he's not
What
in the England squad is hilarious to me.
it's unfathomable, like
Because he
completely
wins
unfathomable.
the free kick and then Hutchinson like does one of those like just moves the angle of the ball like 2 yards, like rolls it, and then Gibbs White scores it, and it's just like this is like probably like outside of like Harry Kane the most in form English player right now,
Well,
and
got the
it's so
most
funny.
most goals in England player in the Premier League with, I think it's 14 he ended with. It's unfathomable why he's not there. Like we're not going into it. We're just not going into it. I've had so many discussions with so many people. We're not doing it. We will leave that for another pod. If we're that bored during the summer, we'll do a World Cup warm up or maybe something where Tom will rage bait every England fan with his views. But yeah, Forest just did enough this season, I guess. Did enough to stay up. I'm a Forest fan. I'm probably happy I've got the European journey memories and didn't get relegated. A season that maybe hope for a little bit more. But actually, European semi-final. But the
I
thing is,
mean, yeah,
if you
you
said
probably.
European semi-final against Villa and you're 1-0 up going into the second leg, you probably like, okay, we could at least get that. But what more could Forest fans have really wanted this season?
I mean, you probably just would have wanted it all to be a little less dramatic. Like the way that like four
Yeah,
managers in
true.
a season, like the way that they went about things,
Yeah, but
and
Forest
like
fans are
losing 4-0 in the second leg, like
yeah.
you would have probably just wanted it to be a bit and like not being so close to relegation, but having this Europa that battle going on all season where you start to go, we need to stay in the league, so like play a weakened team and like
Yeah.
possibly lose in the Europa League.
But I guess if you're a Forest fan, you're used to that, aren't you? We'll dig
I
into it more
mean,
in the season review with Marinakis, who I think has just been spitting at rivals' fans in a reel or something I saw recently. But no, that's
well,
just
he strikes again. Murillo has signed a new contract this week until 2030, so you
gun to
know.
the head, gun to the head. That's all I said. But no, cool. Okay, what have you got next for us?
Brighton nil, Man United 3. Just to say because they finished in the Conference League qualification, but this was no, won't talk about the match at all. I think they like from a Brighton perspective. If you feel disappointed that it's not the Europa League, given they were in position to finish in a Europa League spot, I think similar to what we like the cope that we gave Palace last season about dropping out of the Europa League and into the Conference League is realistically you should win that competition as we're about to. I highly imagine Palace are going to win on Wednesday, and in that case it'll be 3 out of the 5 uh, Conference League championships will be Premier League teams have won it if Palace do go ahead and win it.
Yeah, I mean, this all just puts the pressure on us. We have to win it now because I feel like Brighton could go on to win it, but also them getting not getting Europa League is mega lobes to me. That's what I gotta say. So, and also I would just want to say the Bruno's. This is obviously nothing to do with 14 or whatever, but the Bruno Fernandes assist, which he's gonna get record-breaking Premier League assists ever for, is an own goal. And have you seen that?
Yeah, yeah. So I saw the highlights, but
And it's never.
I have seen the article where they're like, yeah, we're still going to give it to Bruno,
Yeah,
even though it's
bullshit.
like it's an own goal.
It's
But
not, how no one else would that happen for, but because they want the narrative, that's
you
obviously
know,
going
what?
to
I think they
happen.
were just really annoyed at saying it's tied between Henri and De Bruyne, and they
Yeah,
just wanted one clear outright winner. So they were just like,
mate. Okay,
just
okay.
give it to
This
Fernand.
that should be my yelling at clouds thing because that is absolute horseshit. But yeah, cool. Okay, next one. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, we'll rattle through the last of these. Liverpool won, Brentford won. They drop out of European spots, but it's still been a great season for them, but disappointing.
I was annoyed because Brentford were the ones that could have. Well, no, no, Brentford could have done that, and
No,
then Brighton would
If
dropped it.
Brentford had won, they would have stayed in a
Yeah,
Europa
and they would
League
have,
spot, and then
but
it
they
would
would
have
have knocked
knocked each
Brighton
one
out.
down. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was getting annoyed at because I was like, "Go on, just get a goal. It would have been perfect. That'd have been the
Well,
perfect end to yesterday." But yeah,
Utara had one late on that he couldn't get in, but really, Brentford were quite distantly second best in this game. Like Liverpool kept coming at them, and probably should have been more than 1-0 up, and then somehow Brentford found an equaliser. Like Lewis Potter had a massively deflected cross that Sade somehow got his head on, and it went in the back of the net. But
It
really,
was actually, I saw that highlight actually. Yeah, that was a weird
like
one.
outside of that, there really wasn't a lot for Brentford in this game. So, and again, let's not do 10-minute standing ovations during the match. I get Mo Salah and Andy Robertson are legends, but like it's just like Brentford had something to play for in this game. In the Villa one, I could excuse it because Villa were hungover and probably needed a
Yeah,
10-minute break because they were probably sweating out their asses. And like, if I've ever tried to do exercise on a hangover, it's probably not very fun. And whereas Brentford had something that they could get if they had got into gear and got a second goal, they would have finished in a European spot, but instead we're doing 10 minutes saying thanks Mo Salah, even though you're going to spend the next 45 minutes an hour after the match saying thank you.
and then slagging the manager off 45 minutes after that.
Well, to be fair, I can understand that.
But yeah, I
Right.
mean, go on next. Let's go.
Next, we'll just bash through these last couple. Fulham 2, Newcastle 0, the nothingest game ever. Diop and Kearney for Fulham. Like,
Did we have Fulham on to win this after their
we must have because they
draw,
lost
draw?
2, so it must have been like they've got to win they've got to win this, and Newcastle were just glad to see the end of the season. I think
Yeah,
like
Newcastle was a bit of a last hurrah against you guys, I guess, and then a limp over to the very end of the season. The biggest
yeah,
problem I have with Newcastle is I had a 50 quid bet on with my mate that finish above us, and if we hadn't done this European run, we probably would have finished well above them. So yeah, getting well annoying.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
And then from a Fulham perspective, we'll come on to it more in a season review, but they've just got to look at themselves. They finished 2 points off seventh and a Europa League spot. Like last week, drawing at Wolves is recency bias, but that's a game you have to win. And if you had won that and then won this, you would have been in Europa League spot. But to be fair, if they had won that, they would have drawn this game because
that's how
inconsistent
it
form.
goes. How it goes. I mean, probably was there Marco Silva leaving like
I
shit during the
mean,
game? Is
not that
anything
I,
said?
not that I've seen at the moment. It's still they've offered him a contract and it's on the table, but they're also seeing like he hasn't agreed from what I've seen. So
If you're
yeah,
if you're a Fulham fan, do you want that? To be fair, we'll all know by a season review what's going on with it. But yeah, just another mid-season season from Fulham,
yeah.
like Hugo said all the way back at the beginning of our pre-match review, pre-season reviews. Like it wants them to step on, wants them to make these signings. Didn't make those signings, and kind of all just
But
peaced
they did
out
they
and
did make some they did make some interesting signings, but
intro, yeah, but not what they needed a fully made playmaker in the middle of the park to do it for them, go box to box that they never got.
yeah, true.
That fair? Like,
Yeah. And then from a Newcastle perspective, I think they just had like I thought they had more depth this season, but I guess the Champions League just put too much of a strain on the squad, and some players didn't come in and step up. Elanga and Visser like seem afterthoughts at this point.
Langer that scored what two at the new camp as well. It's a crazy, weird season for him. But I think yeah, the strain of losing Isak and then the strain of the Champions League was just too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Burnley won, Wolves won. The
No.
a game that definitely happened.
Yeah, there we go. That'll do. Cool. Do you want to talk about anything both in the bin? Like, just say it how it is. I
I
don't want to be that.
mean, a couple of like it was fitting that this game ended even, given both of them were quite distantly the two worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
The only thing I really have to say is Fleming. I doubt he'll be joining Burnley in the second division. I think a Premier League team will bring him back up. Like I think he's done a good enough job that at least one of the promoted teams would sign him. Whereas Adam
That
Armstrong's second goal in 14 games, he is definitely staying in the Championship.
he is going back down. But yeah, Fleming to a newly promoted club. That just seems right, doesn't it? It seems like that's going to be the exactly
Yeah,
what happens. But yeah, cool. Okay,
that's them
that's
all.
it. That's it. That's another season in the books, ain't it? What we'll
It
do
is.
is, well, I'll be praying that I don't die in Leipzig and I can make it through and Palace do something. But after that, we'll be coming to you in the summer with our end of season reviews for each team, our player of the season. No, not player, sorry, team
Our
of the season.
rewards, our
Our
rewards, our team
awards.
of the season. Yeah, we're
Uh,
gonna like we
and with
we
these,
might at some point drop down to. I think we should do one every couple of weeks rather than just like radio silence for
sorry,
6 weeks. But yeah,
yeah,
like we'll
we,
have
we,
the World Cup to talk about.
God, yeah, the miserable, miserable World Cup. But with our team of the year as well this year, Tom will be going to the players' houses to give the players their trophies. So we'll be putting out socials for
We're
everyone to
going
see.
to egg all the players' houses. They have the
Mate,
unfortunate honour of being in our team of the season.
to be fair, we should put it out to the viewers to vote on what we should call the podcast moving forward, with West Ham not being there. What are
Yeah,
we
do
going to
we
do
just
next?
rebrand to Crystal Palace and West Ham, or do we call it the other 14 plus West Ham?
Have a 14 plus West Ham interlude each
Yeah, it's just
each week.
a weekly check-in on how I'm doing with Tuesday, Wednesday football every day.
Therapy call.
Yeah, yeah, just at the end of the
Oh.
week. And what West Ham up to? Yeah, Millwall
Oh,
away.
but no, I'm sure we'll figure it all out, or we'll let you guys know going into the new year, the new season. Sorry, but yeah. Otherwise, feel free to rate and view the podcast and follow us on socials at other14FC podcast, and also email in at other14fcpodcast@gmail.com. Did I get that right?
You did, well done.
I didn't
Off
even
the
have my
dome.
notes in front of me. Fucking got that bang. But no, sorry about how it all went, Tom. But otherwise, it's been a great season going through it all with you, and I can't wait to do it again next season.
Yeah, man, it's been fun.
Peace out, brother. Catch you there. Bye.
Bye.